Hi everyone, welcome to Mona's Kitchen. I'm so excited that you're here because today we're going to show you how to make this amazing balsamic orange salmon two ways. One way from the oven, which is coming out right now, and then I'm going to show you the air fryer way. So let me go grab it from the oven. Just a sec. I'm so thrilled. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Guys, you're going to love this recipe. I know Doug's not here today, but check this out. Smell-o-vision. It smells so good. Look at that salmon. Look at those veggies. Unbelievable. So in a sheet pan format, we're going to start from the backwards forwards, but from a sheet pan format, basically you put your vegetables, and I'm going to show you how to make this amazing marinade, which has so many nutritional benefits. You put together your vegetables, you smear it on your salmon, and then you put it in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes, and it's done. But why not, if you have an air fryer at home, you can use it in your air fryer. It will cook even faster, and you'll probably get a little bit of a crunchy crust on it, which is pretty amazing too. So I thought it would be fun for me to show you how to do the basics of the recipe, and then show you, if you do have an air fryer, if you're thinking of having an air fryer, how to use it for a full meal. Typically when you're thinking about an air fryer, you're thinking about fries or veggies, and that's really about it. But guess what, guys? You can actually make an entire meal with an air fryer, which is kind of cool. So let's get started, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is to make this amazing marinade. So what it is a balsamic honey orange marinade. And so it's very, very simple to use. The recipe that I have online uses a little bit of a different spice, but that's okay because, hey, we have to use what's in our kitchens right now. So the first thing that we're going to do is add some olive oil. So I'm going to put in 1.5 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil into my little bowl here. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Hey, Heather. How are you doing? Welcome. Thanks for coming. So I have 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. And then the next thing I'm going to add is some balsamic vinegar. I always try to look for a really good balsamic vinegar. This is the vinegar that I get from a company called LaRue. It's a little shop that's on the Cape in Martha's Vineyard, and it has a really nice 18-year-old balsamic vinegar. So if you want to spend, if you have money to spend and you want to get a little bit of a better balsamic vinegar, I highly advise that you do that. So I'm using 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. So I have 1.5 olive oil, 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, and I'm then going to do 1 tablespoon of honey. And right now I'm going to make a recipe as if it's just for one, because it's actually, the other half is sitting right there on the table over there. But I wanted to show you two ways, one way with an oven and the other way with your air fryer. And then, so I put in my olive oil, my balsamic vinegar, my honey. The next thing I'm going to add is, the recipe called for rosemary, which is a great herb. I had fresh dill. Dill is a little bit of a lighter herb. It goes really, really well with salmon. And I had some left over last week because I made some chicken soup. So I'm just gonna add, I had parsley and dill left over. I used my parsley yesterday. I'm gonna use my dill today. Let's say hi. Who's saying hi? Hi, Heather. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you love salmon. Hi, Selma, how are you? Okay, so we've got our olive oil, we've got our balsamic, we've got our honey, we've got our dill. Now this is the magic ingredient, orange zest. So how do you do orange zest? So this is what it looks like. You throw it in here, but the way to do it is that you have to get a little thingy, a little gadget called a zester. It looks like this, for those of you who are not familiar with it. And basically it's the skin of the orange, and you basically rub it into a bowl, and you use that peel in your sauce. What are the benefits of orange peel? First of all, it's extremely aromatic. Like I smell it on my skin. It's so unbelievable. Not only does it taste, it has a little bit of a bitter taste, but the aroma is so amazing. Also from a nutritional level, it's so good for you. It's an anti-inflammatory. Do you know that the orange peel has nearly double the amount of vitamin C than the actual fruit itself? So why not use orange zest like all the time. You can use it in yogurt, you can use it in oatmeal, you can use it in your salmon tonight, and it just adds a full rounded flavor, especially the combination, the balsamic, a little bit of honey, and the orange, just amazing. And I wish you were in my kitchen right now because it smells so good. All right, so I put in a teaspoon of orange zest, and that's really it. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna mix it up. It's gonna take a little bit because, you know, the honey is thick, and you're gonna get a sauce. I'll come close. You're gonna get a sauce that's a little bit on the thick side, almost like a teriyaki sauce. So good. I bet if you did put a little soy sauce in there, it would be like a teriyaki. But it's gonna be like thickness like that. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat my air fryer for about a few minutes. And you always want to preheat your air fryer, just like you would preheat an oven. You want to make sure that it's nice and hot before you put in your food. Okay, who's here? Hey Stephanie, how are you? Aw, so talented. Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, well, that's what I want to do. I want to help you guys during this hard time, but I don't want it to be hard. I want it this time to make it positive and make you all better cooks and make you feel so comfortable in the kitchen, right? Okay, so we have our sauce here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to paint. Who loves to paint? You get a little pastry brush, and I got to get my salmon out of the refrigerator. Here it is. Okay. So what I did, I took a piece of salmon. It's about 12 ounces of salmon, so 6 ounces for me and 6 ounces for Doug. So he'll get one. He'll get that sheet, and I'll get the air fryer one. But guys, just also look at the portion. This whole portion is only 450 calories, and it has all these great nutrients in there. But anyway, back to the salmon. So you have your piece of salmon. So what you want to do is take your paintbrush and basically paint. Or you can use a spoon if you don't have a pastry brush. You just want to smear. I call it the smear. You want to smear your salmon, not too much, don't overdo it, with the marinade. And just like leave that as so. We're going to put that over here for right now. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take all of our vegetables. So the recipe called for Brussels sprouts. I didn't have Brussels sprouts at home, but I did have broccoli. And from a nutritional and timing standpoint, broccoli is really, really good for you. It's just as good as Brussels sprouts. It's got the sulforaphanes, which are really great anti-cancer agents, really, really good for you, a lot of fiber. So I'm using broccoli instead. So one of the things, for those of you who are new to Mona's Kitchen, one of the things I always profess for every meal is that you have 2 to 3 cups of vegetables per meal. And that will, and try to go into the rainbow. You'll see I created a rainbow of vegetables because that will give you a variety of vitamins, a variety of nutrients, and the meal that you're going to have that we're preparing tonight has 10 grams of fiber, which is really, really good for you. Every day you should try to have about 25 to 30 grams of fiber, and a third of it is going to be from this dinner because you're having all these great vegetables. Okay, so we've got our greens, we've got our broccoli, and then we're going to add some sweet potato, a cup of sweet potato, which I cut into cubes. Then I'm going to put in some zucchini. The recipe had called for a little bit, I think it was red pepper, but I'm going to put instead some zucchinis, and I wanted some red, so I looked in my fridge and I had a few of these cherry tomatoes, so I'm just going to throw these in. And here are all your vegetables, and what you want to do, you want to take the rest of this wonderful marinade and put it in with the vegetables. Not too much, you want to be mindful how much you put in. And then you just kind of mix it around to coat it. I like a lot of vegetables, and I probably put in a little bit more than the recipe called because I'm like a vegetable maniac. So that's me. I love my veggies, right? Oh, this is ready. I'm going to keep the timer on it because I want to keep it hot. All right. So you want to coat the vegetables, not overly coat, just like lightly coat the vegetables with this wonderful sauce. Just going to finish it up. There we go. Smells so good. All right. And then what you do, you get your air fryer And what we're gonna do is create a bed of vegetables. I'm gonna pull out the drawer so you guys can see. And you always, as I mentioned before, you always want the air fryer to be hot. So I'm gonna take a bed of vegetables and put that on the bottom. Nice, and spread it around so the air will get at it. And then I'm going to take my salmon, which I marinated earlier, and put that on top, just like that. And guys, that's it. So when it goes into the air fryer, it's going to look like this. So you have your vegetables on the bottom, your air fryer on top, and then what I'm going to do is put a little salt and pepper on top, because that's what you just have to do before it goes into cooking. And I may spray just a little bit of olive oil spray, just to give it like that. And what we'll do now, it's going to go into the air fryer for about 8 minutes. And then after 8 minutes, the fish should be ready. I'm going to take the fish out, put it over foil so it stays warm, cook the vegetables up for another 3 minutes. And that's how you do it. It's so easy. So I'm going to put it in right now. Set it for 8 minutes. I'm also going to set this for 8 minutes. Okay, and that's it. And so what you're going to get, the meal you're going to get, which is pretty amazing, I'm actually going to plate it for you because I think that's just a great way to kind of show you what you're going to have for dinner, the final product. And what I promise I'll do is, I don't think you want to stay for another 11 minutes, but if you do, we can hang out and chat. Is I can take a picture and do a taste test comparing the air fryer versus the oven. And I'll tell you honestly which one I like better, or whether they're just as good. So, you know, there's 2 ways to do it. Doing it this way in the oven, it's easy. You put everything all at once, 375, and it's done in 35 minutes. And if you don't have an air fryer, it's a great way to do it. You still get a great meal. Having the air fryer cooks a little bit, it cooks a little bit faster, and you're going to get a little bit of a crustier crust on top. But I just wanted to show you. This is your dinner. How does that look? Unbelievable. So this is about 6 ounces of salmon. Again, you have 3 cups of vegetables. You've got your cup of broccoli, you've got your cup of sweet potatoes, and you've got a cup of combination of tomatoes and zucchini. So you get your 3 cups of vegetables. This entire dinner is about 450 calories, about 30 to 40 grams of protein, 10 grams of fiber, and it's so good. And you have every vitamin you can think of. You have the vitamin A from the butternut squash, the bees, the broccoli, the bees, and the sulforaphanes, and the vitamin C from the orange peel. Remember, that orange peel is amazing, and it's just so awesome. And so I'm going to taste it so I can tell you, and you will agree, because that's what you just always do on a little cooking show. So Mona, is it really good? Let's try it. Ready? I wish I could have you taste it with me. Oh my God. This is so good. And this marinade, and you know this marinade, this orange balsamic marinade, you can use it for chicken or any other meat. And it's great to like throw on the grill, and you can marinate chicken overnight and just use it forever. So when you look at this recipe, think about that marinade for other things that you might want to use in your kitchen. Good idea? Why not? Bet it would even be a really good salad dressing too, because it's oil and vinegar and orange peel and a little honey. So put it on your salad, right? So thank you all for coming today. I'll definitely do a taste test in about 8 minutes. And thank you for coming. I just want to say, hey Sarah, how are you? Heather, what degree on the air fryer? Good question. So you're gonna put the air fryer at 390 degrees, and then when I take the salmon out, after 8 minutes, I'm just gonna lower it a little bit to 380 degrees so that the vegetables can keep cooking. Oh, okay. Mari, you picked the air fryer. Well, let's see what happens. This tastes pretty good too. I think both ways are probably good. Hey Carol, how are you? And Yeah, oh good, Mari. I'm so excited. You can't wait to make this. It's so easy, it's so good, and it's all so good for you. And right now, guys, we really need good food in our bodies to maintain our strength and to maintain our immunity. And so thank you all for coming. Hey Cheryl, how are you? Thank you for telling me it looked great. It's awesome. Here, let's take another look. Yum, yum. So I wish you guys could all come over now to Mona's Kitchen and cook with me. But this will do, and I promise you, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be back tomorrow to show you another fabulous recipe, okay? Have a great night. Love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll write you back in about 5 minutes and let you know the air fryer versus the oven, okay? See ya. Bye.